Hi Hazel, this is take two, and I just want to show you we're using this pan because my pan broke, my original one. And you have two types of pans. You can buy either the one that is deep or the one that is low. If it's low, then it's good to use something like this, which is like an old cake thingy and just the rim. Okay, so you make a height, and this way you have enough room to push in the pita and put in so you have height. All right, and then we plugged it in so it's hot and nice, and underneath it's already burning, so my pan is hot. When my pan is hot, I take some flour and I put it over here because that way, can you take a picture of this? That way it won't stick. Now, see that it goes dark really fast, so I know my fire is way too hot, and I'm going to lower it. My dough needs to be very mushy, very watery. You can see the texture as I roll it, and if I put some water on my fingers, on my hands, then it doesn't stick as much. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to take a piece, just like that, and put it in the pan. Put some more water on my fingers, and then just keep it going like that. Got the pan? Once I got this going, I put the fire over it, but like I told you, it needs to be with enough height, so we're going to put this first, and then this, and we're going to let it sit for a little bit. Did you take the inside? You have to take the inside also.
No, I never do.
I'm gonna check inside now. And I'm gonna look inside and see that it's not ready yet. So I'm gonna close it again. I'm gonna higher a little bit the fire underneath. Take a spatula, and then I'm gonna put it on a plate with a towel ready, because the towel will keep the moisture in and make it soft and nice.
Когда مزيكا في
עכשיו לא תשתמשי בזה כי את מדברת? All right, you can see that it's starting to bake on the top. It's becoming browner. Now this is not ready yet because you see inside it's still doughy, but the bottom is ready because my bottom was way too hot. So we're going to give it a little bit of the fire on top without the extra. And now it's going to be ready. So I take that. I'm going to put my pita over here. and cover it with that. Now, again, I have to powder it with, take a piece with wet hands, lay it down, wet my hands more, and then smush it again. Pan it all around. And if you need some more water because it's sticking, it's not a problem. And again, I'm going to put this over. And this on top. You can see underneath this, it's becoming softer and softer because of the steam in the towel. Usually when I'm not making a movie, I would also go ahead in between the pitot and go do some other things, come back when I smell the burning, and then flip it, and then take it out, flip the pita, go back to doing things. But now, for your video, I'm sitting here next to the fire. It's nice and warm. And this is almost ready. Again, my fire was way too hot. No. And I put the towel over it. Lower a little bit the fire. Put some flour, dust the flour. Put my hands in the water. Piece of dough. Put it in the pan. This one's going to be thick. All right, now what we can do is if you're interested in adding toppings, you can put sesame, you can put salt, you can put za'atar if you want. Garlic, and then I take a spray of olive oil and spray it on top to give it some, and my regular. When we finish this, we're going to stop the movie, and then we'll continue making all the pitas. Then I'll show you how much pita came out of this amount of dough. This amount of dough is about 1.5 kilos of flour, 4 tablespoons of 4 tablespoons of yeast, dry yeast, and 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and oh, and I also put a little bit. You're supposed to put a little bit of chilbe, but I put a little bit instead of matzah flour. Not matzah flour. How do you call it? Kemach matzah. Either way, you put it together with a lot of water, so it's like this, and then you let it rise, and it becomes chewy and sticky like that. It's a lot of fun. I would say to this amount of dough, which was 1.5 kilos, maybe I used like 8.5 cups of water, maybe 9 cups of water, maybe a little more. Anyway, you knead it, and then it will rise for about an hour and a half. And when it rises, you can start. It's not a problem. It's not like challah that needs like hours and hours of rising. It rises very fast. You can see how nice this pita came out. I'm going to burn it on the top a little. Right, now it's nice and ready. You can look at the pot. You try to get underneath as much as you can, and then it will pop out beautifully. Like that. This is my beautiful thick pita with toppings. Anyway, we're going to cut now, and then we're going to come back after I finish all this stuff.